Hey, you guys. So we have a very interesting story we'd like to share with you, and it actually took us a lot of time to talk about this, and we'll get to that in a minute as to why we waited so long. But yeah, it's something that's been very upsetting and very bewildering to us for the past month.
And it's something that, you look at things happening in the news and you always say, like, oh my God, that's crazy. And you never think it's going to happen to you. And
before you reveal it.
Yeah, but the title is going to reveal it a bit.
Yeah, of course. But I know I get a little scattered when I try to tell a story, but I'm going to try and be as chronological as possible.
Yeah, that's very important.
Very accurate. So I'm going to start right from the beginning, what happened.
Okay.
So, do we explicitly mention what's going to happen right now or no?
Yeah.
We think that we were visited by a robber, a thief.
A home invader.
Exactly.
A violent home invader.
We survived.
Yeah, we did.
But
that's the good thing. And now we're okay. So just to know, like, I don't want you guys to be so upset, but now we're okay and we think we're safe.
But all kidding aside, we're fine.
Yeah.
And the reason why I feel I want to try and take over and tell the side of the story is because
well, he's actually the one who realized
I saw everything firsthand and I realized what was happening after as well. But you're sort of involved. But yeah, let's just jump right into it and tell me what happened.
Because we're like...
So it was around like 7 o'clock at night, or 7 or 8 at night.
It was at 8:25 something, and it was a Saturday night.
Exactly, and we were watching TV.
Netflix.
And yeah, we're just chilling, which was basically what we do on our days off, monitoring YouTube and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, I hear the doorbell ring.
Yeah.
And
the thing you have to know, guys, is like normal people, when they come into our apartment building, like there are steps and there are very loud steps, and we hear them like from the moment they open the main door downstairs, we hear them coming up, and Caramel hears them.
Caramel is the best alarm system in the world because she hears things we don't hear in the hallway, and as soon as the doorbell rings or somebody knocks, she is going to growl.
Yeah.
She just doesn't like visit. But anyways.
But it took us all by surprise because Caramel was near us, and when the doorbell rang, we didn't hear like nobody come up, and we were like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah. We get no visitors unless people call in advance, and the only thing I thought to myself was, well, it's probably our downstairs neighbor who wants us to move my car or whatever. So I check through the peephole and I don't recognize the person, and I open the door, and if some of you may know, there's a chain on my door and the main lock. So we open it up, and I just stay in the door frame, and there's this very small man with a hat, a toque, and
he was holding a bag.
He was holding a plastic bag, something wrapped in a plastic bag, but it was all like, wrapped, and a small coat, and he was about like 5'5" or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
So, and I'm just, yes, and he says, oh, I'm looking for the young woman who lived here. And he actually used past tense, and I'm like, well, there's no woman, what do you want? And he said, well, am I bothering you? And I was like, well, what do you want? And he says, oh, I'm sorry, I guess I made a mistake.
Like, he tried to look through the gap of the door, and I guess he saw me because I was sitting like almost
he was
where
on the
I
couch.
am right now.
Pascal was on the couch, and he didn't come up because, he's just right here. And the guy was looking a little bit suspiciously in the apartment, and I think that as soon as he saw Pascal, he got freaked out.
Yeah.
And he said that he made a mistake.
Yeah. So Bryan closed the door, and we were like, what the yeah, and then
literally
the guy kind of panicked, and he ran downstairs, and he fell down the stairs, and we heard like a loud ping, bang, boom, and we were like, what, did he just fall?
And I opened the door again because I was hesitant to maybe go and help him, but I was just looking at him from the top of the flight of stairs,
and he was already leaving
he was already gone.
Yeah,
he just made a run for it.
So we found that very weird, so we ran to the window and to the door, which has a view of the street, to try to see if he goes into a car or something, but we didn't even see where he went.
I didn't know where he went.
Like,
We looked, like, the most logical thing he would have done is to run down that way, down the street, I suppose. I don't know why. I think it's more logical to do that. But either way, I looked left and right on the balcony, and he wasn't there. It's like, how does this happen?
Yeah, so for the rest of the evening, we were like kind of scared, because we're like, that was super weird, and I had the impression that that's super strange, that maybe like a guy watches if you're alone and tried to rob you or something.
Yeah, we were sort of hypothesizing what was actually happening. So the most logical thing that came to our mind was that he was actually a robber that was trying to find a place where there was a lone person, or somebody who was not home. And when he saw that there were two guys in the same place, maybe he felt intimidated because it was so small. He was a little old, probably like 40s or something like that. And so he just panicked and left. And what boggled my mind was he was looking for a young woman, and there hasn't been a woman living here
for like
at least 5 years before we moved in here in 2015. So it was
his story
very
made no
weird.
sense. Like his story made absolutely.
But
no
I
sense.
also gave him the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe he just, because there's another block, another apartment building that looks a little bit like ours, just right across from us. So maybe he was mistaken and he went in the wrong apartment. But I was like, how do you make that kind of mistake?
Yeah.
So, how is that possible?
So, anyways, that night we were a bit scared, but we closed all the door, made sure everything was locked, and we went to sleep. And then the next day we didn't think much about it. But then, as usual, like I called my parents during the week, and we told them about it because we found it strange. Yeah. And then I think the same day she sent us an article, a web article, telling that during the time that this happened,
it was since Boxing Day.
Since Boxing Day,
up till that point,
there were a group of people were invading homes in the area, and there had been a report of them stabbing a homeowner and then robbing them. And
they would break and enter at gunpoint, so they had firearms. And the police, the local police, released a picture, like a robot picture. Yeah. Of the man, and
so it was in the article, and Bryan looked at it, and he said, no, he didn't.
I was like, well, thank you, Mom, for letting us know, because the house where that happened was 2 streets down from where we lived, so we were a little bit weary, and we knew that it was time to properly secure the place. And then I think it was a Tuesday night. I was watching the State of the Union address, and I was online. I was looking again at the article, and then I was looking at the picture, and suddenly I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was literally panicked. I was literally, I don't know how to explain this. So shook. It's the wrong term, the wrong time to say this, but yes, I was shook. It was crazy. And I called the police, not the emergency number, but I called the police. Of course, they were closed. And then I wake Pascal up because he was asleep. And I told him the entire thing. And I was literally, I don't know, I was like shaking, I was panicked. And he says, dude, you gotta go to the police. You really have to tell someone. Yeah. So, and then we tell his mom, who was very unimpressed because we
had actually opened the door to a stranger.
Yeah, but how can I know? How can you know? Yeah, so it was very bizarre. So yeah, the next day, a new day. I drop him off at work, and I say, on my way back, I'm gonna stop to the local police department and not file a complaint, but tell them what had happened. And well, I don't want to talk against my police department, but they were at least helpful. They didn't take it very seriously, even though in the article it clearly states at the bottom of the article that there were they opened like polls or something in so people can anybody who has information.
They wanted more info. Like we could have told them like the questions he asked us.
But the only thing they wanted was his name. It's like, of course I don't have his name, but I can confirm to you that he came to my house, he fell down the stairs, so he might have a limp, and he wasn't wearing the same hat. He was wearing a different hat. Yeah. So, but yeah, they just didn't care. Oh, if they think something's interesting, they'll call you back, and they didn't call me back. Yeah. So yeah, it was very, very bizarre.
Yeah. So anyways, all this to say that this was a very stressful, and like we were afraid that the guy might come back afterwards since he saw our apartment, what we had in it, kind of, because the room where we are right now, which he saw through the door right there, there's like all my most expensive stuff.
It's a very open space, so there's everything's in plain sight.
Yeah, like you could see my computer, my camera, which I used to film, and I can't afford to have
TV.
This stolen.
We have very nice furniture, and
so anyways. We were kind of stressed about it, and we took measure to try to secure the door downstairs because it's an old.
We lock everything now.
We lock everything, and
our landlord knows now.
Yeah, before we go to bed, like when Bryan works at night, sometimes I used to not lock the door because I didn't want him to struggle to come in or make noise. But now every night we make sure everything's locked.
It's completely out of the question to leave it unlocked.
I kept thinking about it afterwards, and the fact that he was holding a plastic bag with something in it in his hand, I guess it could have been a knife, it could have been a gun. And everything could have went very differently if he didn't saw me like in the same room.
Or if I was at work and you opened the door.
Yeah,
alone.
It's super scary. So I think the thing we must get out of this, guys, is never open the door to strangers and be super careful.
It's fine if you don't know who the person is to talk through a door.
Yeah.
Because you have that barrier. And we're not trying to scare you.
No, it's true, but that's what we're going to do like in the future. If we see someone knocking at some weird hours of the day and we don't know them, we don't want to open the door anymore. So we're super scared. And that's kind of why we waited such a long time, because it's been like about a month since this happened, like the whole events. But we waited a bit, and we told you guys. Well, the patrons know it because we write them every month.
About it.
You may have tweeted about it, but we waited a month to make this video because it was something super serious, and we were kind of still stressed about it. But now everything has passed, and I guess there were no reports of incidents, so I guess everything stopped, and I'm very happy for that. So.
We're gonna put a link to the original article in the description below if you guys are interested,
and that's about it.
Please be safe, you guys. Yeah. This was a very weird start to our 2018 year.
Yeah. It was
everything
like you always see
combined.
those YouTubers say like, this is so crazy story time, my neighbor, this, that. But truly for us, this story we're telling you, it was very stressful and creepy. And
I'm scared. Did you lock the door?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And we just hope that this never happens to anyone, and we don't want it to happen to us again.
But let it be a lesson to you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Take this as a lesson. Please don't open the door. Yeah. Be completely safe. And if you are scared, don't be scared. Well, don't be afraid to call for help.
Yeah.
Call the police. Let people know that there's something weird going on, and have people come over, or have, if you're too scared to open the door alone, make sure your parents or your brother or your sister or your cousin or your aunt or your uncle, whatever, is there to help you.
So guys, I guess that's the end of our story time kind of thing. But thank you guys for having been there to hear this story. I know it's a bit a heavy story, but we wanted to share with you because it was such a big experience for us.
You have to get all the bad out of the way and make place for the good, funny stuff we have coming up for you guys.
Yeah. So with that said, thank you guys for watching, and be safe, and we're going to see each other next week. And we're going to make sure all our doors are locked tonight.
Oh, yes, they better.
And every night. Okay. Bye, guys.